Howdy, food explorers! Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of Amish food preservation. These folks have been keeping food fresh without fancy fridges for centuries. We're talking techniques passed down through generations, honed to perfection for preserving those hard-earned cuts of beef. Think about it, no electricity bills, no freezer burn, just pure, unadulterated flavor locked in time. So buckle up, because we're about to unlock 15 Amish secrets to preserve beef that'll make you the envy of every prepper and foodie on the block. Get ready to ditch the plastic wrap and embrace the wisdom of the ages. Let's kick things off with the granddaddy of them all, salting. It's simple, effective, and about as old as dirt. There's a science to it. Salt's a natural antimicrobial, drawing out moisture and creating an environment where bacteria can't thrive. The Amish are masters of salt curing, using a serious salt crust to ensure every nook and cranny of that beef is protected. This method takes time, sometimes weeks, but trust me, the flavor payoff is worth the wait. You'll get a deeper, richer taste, almost like the beef's been aged to perfection. Think of it like this: the salt's not just preserving, it's concentrating the flavor. And the best part? Salt-cured beef can last for months without refrigeration. Next up, we're firing up the smoker and adding a whole new dimension of flavor with smoking. Smoke contains compounds that inhibit bacterial growth, making it a natural preservative. The Amish, with their resourcefulness, have been smoking meat for generations using hardwoods like hickory and applewood. They often cold smoke their meat, using lower temperatures for longer periods to gently infuse the meat with smoke and dry it out. This slow and low method creates a texture that's almost jerky-like, perfect for snacking or adding to stews and soups. Plus, the aroma alone is enough to make your neighbors think you've got a secret BBQ joint hidden in your backyard. Now let's talk about canning, the art of preserving food in glass jars. The Amish have been canning their bounty for ages, and their methods are tried and true. You'll be using heat to kill any bacteria and create a vacuum seal that'll keep your beef fresh for months, even years. Add some spices, herbs, or even a touch of heat to create your own signature blend. Imagine cracking open a jar of your own home-canned beef stew on a cold winter night. We're about to explore the wonderful world of drying. This ancient technique is how the Amish preserve meat without refrigeration. It's all about removing moisture, the key ingredient that bacteria need to grow. The Amish often make their jerky using lean cuts of beef, sliced thin and marinated in a simple mixture of salt, pepper, and maybe a few secret spices. You can dry ground beef to make pemmican, a traditional Native American food that's packed with energy and nutrients. And don't forget about dried, cured meats like bresaola and biltong. These culinary delights are a testament to the power of drying. Let's add a tangy twist to our preservation adventure with pickling. Pickling uses an acidic brine, usually made with vinegar, salt, and spices, to create an environment that's inhospitable to bacteria. The Amish often pickle beef with onions, garlic, and warming spices like mustard seed and allspice. Use a good quality vinegar for the best flavor. Apple cider vinegar and white vinegar are popular choices. The key is to create a brine that's acidic enough to preserve the beef while also adding layers of complexity. Brining is all about osmosis, the movement of water molecules from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. When you brine beef, you submerge it in a saltwater solution, which draws moisture from the meat into the brine. The salt slowly breaks down muscle fibers, resulting in a more tender and flavorful cut of meat. The Amish often brine their beef before smoking or roasting it, as it helps to keep the meat moist and flavorful during the cooking process. Try adding herbs, spices, or even a splash of maple syrup or brown sugar for a touch of sweetness. We're about to enter the fascinating world of fermentation. This ancient technique might sound intimidating, but it's actually quite simple. Fermentation relies on good bacteria, like lactobacillus, to convert sugars into lactic acid, which acts as a natural preservative. The Amish often ferment vegetables like cabbage to make sauerkraut, but did you know they also ferment meats? One example is kielbasa, a Polish-style fermented sausage that's often seasoned with garlic, pepper, and marjoram. The fermentation process gives kielbasa a tangy, slightly sour flavor that's utterly addictive. We're about to delve into the world of pemmican, a traditional Native American food that's as ingenious as it is nutritious. Pemmican is a concentrated mixture of dried meat, rendered fat, and berries, designed to provide sustenance and energy in a compact, shelf-stable form. The Amish often make pemmican as a survival food or for long journeys. You can customize it with different types of dried meat, fruits, nuts, and spices. Whether you're a seasoned survivalist or just looking for a nutritious and shelf-stable snack, pemmican is worth exploring. We've already touched on jerky, but this beloved snack deserves its own moment in the spotlight. Jerky is more than just dried meat. It's a culinary tradition that dates back centuries. The Amish often make jerky using lean cuts of beef, sliced thin and seasoned with salt, pepper, and sometimes a touch of brown sugar or garlic. The key to good jerky is to dry it slowly and evenly, either in a dehydrator or in a low oven. So grab your favorite cut of beef, fire up that dehydrator, and experience the joy of making your own jerky. Get ready for a technique that's as elegant as it is effective: larding. This method involves inserting thin strips of fat, usually pork fatback, into leaner cuts of meat to add moisture and flavor. The Amish often lard tougher cuts of beef like rump roast or eye of round to make them more tender and succulent. The fat, as it renders during cooking, bastes the meat from the inside out, resulting in a more flavorful and juicy roast. So if you're feeling adventurous and want to impress your dinner guests, why not give larding a try? Let's step back in time and explore the world of potting, a traditional method of preserving meat by cooking it in its own fat and storing it in airtight containers. The Amish often pot beef, pork, or poultry, slow cooking the meat in its own fat until it's incredibly tender and flavorful. The rendered fat then solidifies, forming a natural seal that protects the meat from spoilage. It's like creating a time capsule of flavor, ready to be opened and enjoyed months later. Potted meat is incredibly versatile. You can use it in sandwiches, salads, pasta dishes, or simply enjoy it spread on crusty bread. Get ready to travel across the globe to South Africa, where we'll uncover the secrets of biltong, a traditional air-dried meat that's as delicious as it is unique. Biltong is similar to jerky, but with a distinct flavor and texture all its own. It's typically made with lean cuts of beef, marinated in a mixture of vinegar, spices, and often coriander seeds. The meat is then air-dried for days, sometimes weeks, until it's firm and chewy. The Amish have embraced biltong as a tasty and shelf-stable way to enjoy beef. Whether you're a seasoned biltong enthusiast or a curious newcomer, this South African delicacy is sure to tantalize your taste buds. Let's dive into the world of corned beef, a culinary classic that's deeply rooted in history and flavor. Corned beef starts with a brine, a special blend of salt, sugar, spices, and often pink curing salt. The beef is submerged in this brine for days, allowing the flavors to penetrate and transform the meat. The result is a tender, flavorful beef that's perfect for sandwiches, hash, or traditional Irish dishes like corned beef and cabbage. The Amish often make corned beef, especially during the colder months. Hold on to your hats because we're about to enter the space-age world of food preservation, freeze-drying. Food is frozen solid, then placed in a vacuum chamber, where the ice crystals are transformed directly from a solid to a gas. The result is a lightweight, shelf-stable food that can last for years. Let's wrap up our preservation adventure with a technique that's as practical as it is effective: vacuum sealing. Vacuum sealers remove air from food storage bags or containers, creating an airtight seal that prevents freezer burn, spoilage, and oxidation. This means your preserved beef will stay fresher for longer. It's a great way to extend the shelf life of your preserved beef and ensure that it stays delicious for months to come. Well, folks, we've journeyed through time and tradition, explored ancient techniques and modern marvels, all in the name of preserving beef without a fridge. From the simplicity of salting to the intrigue of fermentation, we've uncovered 15 Amish secrets that have been passed down through generations. Remember, preserving food is about more than just extending its shelf life. It's about connecting with our ancestors, honoring their wisdom, and embracing a more sustainable way of life. So go forth, experiment, and discover the joy of preserving beef using these time-tested